Her name was Amelia Dyer, and she's believed to have killed over 400 infants, making her one of the most prolific serial killers in history. But she didn't use violence in the way most killers do. She used something far more terrifying. Welcome to English Stories. And let's start without wasting time. Write down new words in your diary and use them at least for 5 days so you can remember them easily. Subscribe if you are new to our channel, and do comments and likes. In the heart of Victorian England, beneath cobbled streets and the ticking clocks of gaslit alleyways, lived a woman whose crimes will remain unmatched for over a century. Her name was Amelia Dyer, and she may be responsible for the deaths of over 400 infants. But how does a mother become a murderer? How does one go from healing lives to destroying them, silently, one after another? Let's go back to where it all began. The making of a murderer. Amelia Dyer was born in 1837 in a small village near Bristol. She was the daughter of a shoemaker and the youngest of 5 siblings. In those days, mental illness was neither understood nor treated. Her mother suffered from severe mental deterioration due to typhus. As a child, Amelia was forced to care for her, watching day after day as her mother screamed, hallucinated, and thrashed about in violent fits. The trauma of those moments left scars deeper than anyone could see. After her mother's death, Amelia was sent to live with an aunt. She was intelligent, quiet, and always composed. She eventually trained as a nurse, one of the few professions women could pursue then, and for a time, it seemed she would live a quiet life. But tragedy returned when her husband, George Thomas, a man 35 years her senior, died, leaving her alone with a child to raise. It was then that Amelia discovered a dark secret of Victorian society. There were thousands of unwanted babies and hundreds of desperate mothers. The business of desperation, baby farming. In 19th century England, single mothers were shamed, abandoned, and often left homeless. Adoption was rare, and formal child care didn't exist. This led to the rise of baby farming, where women like Amelia offered to take in illegitimate babies, either temporarily for a fee or permanently in exchange for money. Amelia advertised in newspapers. A respectable married woman seeks an infant to adopt, will provide loving home. No reward expected beyond what may be offered. Those gentle words were enough to make struggling mothers believe they were doing the right thing. But Amelia wasn't taking the children in to care for them. She was taking them in to dispose of them. The first murder, a turning point. Her first known victim was a baby named Ellen, just weeks old. She came from a young unmarried woman who, desperate and shamed, handed over the baby with a small payment and a goodbye kiss. At first, Amelia allowed the babies to slowly die of starvation. She kept them in dirty, cramped spaces. No food, no care, no warmth. But soon, starvation became too slow and too risky. One evening, she wrapped a white edging tape, the kind used to hem clothes, around little Ellen's neck and pulled. Gently, firmly, quietly, the child died in seconds. No crying, no noise. Amelia realized this method left no marks. No blood, no questions. This became her signature. Later, when arrested, she would say chillingly, "You'll know it was me by the tape around their necks." Why did she kill? Amelia never killed in rage. She wasn't driven by hate or revenge. She killed because it was easier, more profitable. Babies needed feeding, clothes, space, and time, but dead child was cheap. She realized that with each baby she killed, she could take in another. More money, less risk. She began using aliases, changed addresses, burned letters. She kept no records. It wasn't just murder. It was business. How she got the babies. A master deception. Amelia placed emotional newspaper ads across England. Her writing was kind, religious, maternal. Married couple with no children seeks infant to cherish. Mother may visit. Generous reward not required. Mothers would reply, often pouring their hearts out in letters. My family has cast me out. Please give her a good life. I have no food. He left me. She deserves better than this. Amelia would reply quickly. She would even go to meet them, dressed in black, soft-spoken, holding flowers or a Bible. Mothers often cried with relief. And when the mother placed her baby in Amelia's arms, she believed she was saving her child's life, but she was delivering her to death. The killings continue. Routine murder. Her method was as follows. As soon as the mother left, Amelia would prepare the tape. No hesitation. No emotion. Sometimes the baby was killed the same day. Other times, within hours. She would then wrap the body in cloth, place it in a carpet bag or box, and dump it in the Thames River or bury it in her garden. In some cases, she simply hid the corpses under floorboards until the smell forced her to move. Her calmness was chilling. Neighbors rarely heard anything. Babies never cried long. Some landlords noticed a foul odor. Some neighbors suspected things. But no one reported her. In those days, poor children went missing often. It was not unusual. And Amelia, she kept moving. Town to town. New names. New homes. New ads. How she got caught. One mistake. In March 1896, a parcel was found floating in the Thames River near Reading. Inside was a decomposed body of a baby girl. Her neck bound tightly with white tape. But for the first time, Amelia made a mistake. Inside the parcel was a torn label with a name and parcel address. Police traced it to a woman named Mrs. Thomas, one of Amelia's many aliases. They conducted surveillance. What they found horrified even the most experienced officers. Her home was filled with baby clothes, feeding bottles, tiny boots, but no babies. Dozens of adoption letters, stacks of envelopes from desperate mothers, and the unmistakable smell of death. Amelia was arrested within days. The confession and trial. When questioned, she confessed coldly. No tears, no remorse. She admitted to using the tape to strangle the infants. One officer asked, "Why the tape?" She replied, "Because it was quick and quiet." The police dredged the Thames and recovered more bodies, all with the same white tape. Only a few could be identified. Most remained nameless. Amelia was charged with one count of murder, though police estimated she had killed over 400 infants over 2 decades. During her trial, she sat silent, cold, unmoved. When the judge asked if she had anything to say before sentencing, she replied, "I have nothing to say." She was sentenced to death and hanged on June 10, 1896, at Newgate Prison. Legacy, a system that let her kill. The trial shocked the nation. It also exposed how broken the system was. Why had no one stopped her? Midwives knew. Landlords smelled death. Neighbors saw babies arrive and never leave. But no one acted. The poor were invisible. Unwanted babies, even more so. In response to the outrage, Britain introduced stricter adoption and child care laws. Midwives had to register. Baby farming was heavily regulated. But for hundreds of babies, it was too late. Final words, a cradle and a lullaby. Amelia Dyer didn't use guns. She didn't scream or chase. Her murders were quiet, soft, almost gentle. She wrapped her hands around babies like a mother and squeezed until their cries stopped. She wrote loving letters with one hand and buried tiny bodies with the other. She was the face of a mother, hiding the soul of a killer. And to this day, her crimes remind us that the greatest evil often hides in plain sight, not in monsters, but in the soft lullabies of those we trust the most.